You okay? Come here.
Greetings, free thinkers. Welcome to the Hoggcast. How are you doing today? Hope you're doing fine. I am hot. I'm sweaty. It's very humid here in Eastern England. But I'm making the most of it. It's why I didn't do a video yesterday. I was too hot and a bit of a headache. Still got a bit of a headache. But anyway, today we have more collated footage for you from the United States. We have the lefts, the Democrats, insurrection, which is exactly what it is. It's not a protest about George Floyd. It's metastasized completely into something else. That was just cover. It was smother for the woke left to position themselves in the position that they want to be in, to do to the likes of you and me what they intend to do to us. So we have a variety of different pieces of footage, a lot from Washington DC, where the Black Lives Matter and Antifa members have tried to set up their own Chaz zone, their own chop zone, like they're calling it the Black House. We have yet more cultural heritage sites being targeted by the left. First, it was only Confederate generals. Then they went on to Gandhi. They want to destroy Gandhi now. And now they've moved on to pretty much any part of history, whatever it is, no matter whether it's good, bad, or indifferent. It's a piece of history. They want to destroy it because that's what the left do. They destroy things. The right, like us, we create. The left, like them, they destroy. So without further ado, let's get into the first clip. God, I am sweating buckets, ladies and gentlemen. Let me tell you. Okay, we're going to jump in. We're going to play the first clip. If you haven't yet, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and most importantly, share this video because that helps me stay competitive with the big multinational corporations that YouTube is unfortunately choosing to prioritize. So here we have downtown Washington DC. And we have the woke left in their latest insurrection against the police.
I need my fucking
Have you noticed with the woke left, when you see the police grab them, it takes about 10 police officers to subdue just one of them. It's like a wild animal. If you look, the way that they struggle and fight, have you seen those veterinary programs where they go to collar a rabid dog, a dog that's a stray dog, a feral dog, and have you noticed when they put the hoop around the dog's neck, the dog fights like a mother effer, you know, it takes about 10 people to subdue the dog. And that's what you see with the woke left. They're just animals, really.
You okay?
The modern culture war is very unusual in that these leftists you see here are not anti-authoritarian. They're fighting the police not because they are anti-authoritarian, they are authoritarian. You know, and I know that the woke left are some of the most authoritarian people on the planet. It's not the authority they're fighting. It's the institution of the police, and it is or what they consider to be the first line of defence, or you could even argue it's the last line of defence, depending on which way you look at it, of the capitalist system, which is what they're fighting. They want to destroy capitalism and install a socialist, pro-Black Lives Matter, anti-white people agenda, which is what they want to install. They are authoritarians. They want an authoritarian state. I fully support the police, and I love to see that the police are finally starting to defend themselves and stand up for themselves instead of standing there and getting bottles thrown at them, urine, excrement, all kinds of things. It's nice and refreshing to see them standing up for themselves. And I am anti-authoritarian. So, and we are. So, we on the right who are anti-authoritarian are defending the police, and the left who are pro-authoritarian are attacking the police. You see how this culture war is so convoluted. Next, we have the Washington DC, or the attempted autonomous zone. You could even call it a failed socialist state, a little mini state in Washington DC, where they tried to set up their own Chaz or chop zone, which they were going to call the Black House. So next to the White House, you would have this new house that they're setting up, which would be like a corrugated iron shack, or like a loosely fitting pile of rubble that they created by stealing other pieces of mortar or masonry from the surrounding area. So they're saying that they're not hurting anyone, but they're overlooking the fact that you're stealing other people's property, you are destroying property, and on top of that, you're trying to set up your own mini country in the heart of the seat of American power, and you think that that's okay providing you don't hurt anyone. And come on, let's be honest, you certainly will be hurting people. That is your intention, let's not lie. So in the run-up to the setting up of the DC Chaz zone, the new Chaz zone, and the original piece of footage you saw, which was the first piece I've shown you, this is the run-up to what happened there.
I fucking saw you! What the fuck is wrong with you? This is the country we live in. This is the country we live in. This is it. And you're fucking wrong with you. How the fuck do you even know?
What's your name?
How the fuck do you stupid name?
I like you. You better check your brothers.
Look at the way this guy's acting. He is confused about who he is. His overall demeanour and his own background are two completely different things. He does not know who he is. He doesn't know what he is. He doesn't know where he is. And that is largely the fault of the Marxist education system. These are all just children, really, in adult bodies. All they can do is shout and break things because they're not getting their own way. This is why they like socialism. When they become adults, or quote-unquote adults, they look to the state to be mummy and daddy, and mummy and daddy provides them with things. So now that they are quote-unquote adults, they look to mummy and daddy state to give me things. I want things, and if I don't get, I'm going to throw my toys out of the buggy, or the pram, or whatever it is they call it in the United States.
Huh? You know that? Nah, you ain't know that, did you? Yeah. Look at that tattoos, bro. Look at that tattoo. You gonna hit her?
They don't care that we use that cardboard! Let's go! fucking saw you! What the fuck is wrong with you? This is the fucking country we live in! This is the country we live in! This is it! And
Look at just the face. It's like there's something inside her head that is. It's like I think something's pushing up against the pituitary gland inside her brain because her brain's just pumping out. It's too emotional. There's too much estrogen and soya just floating through her brain. She needs to chill it down a little bit. Calm down.
What's your name?
how the fuck do you stupid name?
I like you. You better check. Boys with you? Huh? You know that? Nah, you ain't know that, did you? Yeah.
I've got a funny feeling he knows a little bit more about his so-called brothers than you do, Mr. Vanilla. Next, we have a very short clip, which is a gigantic metaphor for what the left and who the left are. It's only 10 seconds long, doesn't need any more input from me. Take a look for yourself. We'll play it a few times. The reason why she's wailing like that is she wants to get a very intense emotional reaction from all the other leftists there because, as you know and I know, they are not critical thinkers. They don't think about anything. They just react on emotions like animals. They react on instinctive emotions, and that's why she's wailing like that. But my original point still stands that it is a perfect metaphor for the left. She walks right up to a police officer and she's just slapping something on his head like it's perfectly okay. And when he mildly brushes it off of him, she reacts with utter astonishment. She actually thought she had the right to do whatever she liked to anyone. Let's watch it again. They're babies. They are adult babies. Next, another short piece of footage from New York this time. Sorry, it's extremely hot here in Eastern England right now. It's humid as hell. Where was I? Okay, so this is New York, and we have some Black Lives Matter types, and they set a homeless man on fire with fireworks.
Oh no! Oh no!
Have you noticed how funny they find it? Do you really want people like that dictating to you how much funding the police get? Whether there's police at all? Do you really want in the Chaz zone and even in places like Minneapolis where the woke left local councillors and politicians, they've pulled the police back. You have armed vigilantes roaming the streets who have affiliations to people like that. You really want them dictating to you? Imagine if they are in control of law and order, quote unquote law and order, politics, local councils. Imagine if they was in control of everything. You really want people like that dictating to you how you should live your life in your country? I don't think you do. I certainly don't. I certainly do not. Next, we are in Madison, Wisconsin, where Antifa are symbolically lynching the statue of Hans Christian. Make no mistake, that is what they will ultimately do. That'll be you and your family and me and my family being dragged like that. If you don't, if society does not start taking Antifa as serious as they should be. I know there's still people out there who say that Antifa doesn't even exist. You have to be willfully refusing to see what is happening in order for you to believe something as stupid as Antifa does not exist. When people are out in the street telling you that they exist, and you still say that they don't exist, the onus is then not on them, it's on you. How can you be so foolish as to allow yourself to be such a sucker? And all the time they're destroying our heritage and cultural sites, good, bad or indifferent. Stop looking at historical monuments and historical events through the prism of post-millennial woke rage race-baiting nonsense, because it is a recipe for disaster. And I'm going to leave you with something very poetic, and we often find this type of poetic thing happening a lot. This is being filmed through, this is the camera, you're seeing things through the eyes of a Democratic senator, state senator in Wisconsin, who is filming Black Lives Matter and Antifa as they square up to the local police. And as soon as Antifa realise that they're being filmed, bear in mind Antifa are all four Democrats, right? They come up and they do something not very nice to the Democrat senator. That was only a short film, piece of video. We'll watch it again in a second. I just wanted to add that you see that tank running? That was an Antifa tank. They actually have light tanks now. Or you could even say that that was a main battle tank. Let's take a look. Here it comes. That is a main battle tank. That there, I don't know what that is. That's probably one of those Storks. You know, in World War II, the Germans had a very, very light aircraft called a Stork. And that's a Stork. Look at them, look. This is Antifa. These are the people who have been allowed to run roughshod all over Western society. Privileged, middle class, snot asses. And bearing in mind, as I said, this is being filmed by a Democrat state senator. He's in a part of the state senate in Wisconsin. And he thinks he's one of the lads. He thinks he's one of the boys. He's filming his friends as they heroically stand up to power, the supremacy. So he's saying, give me my phone, leave my phone alone. But wasn't these the Democrats who were all for the looting and the rioting of other people's businesses, their entire livelihoods, their family businesses? I showed you a clip in one of my videos of the poor man trying to defend his family business with everything he had in downtown Minneapolis, and he was almost stoned to death, the poor man. And these Democrats were wholly supportive of what was happening and what was being carried out in the name of Antifa and Black Lives Matter for that matter. Okay, and now all of a sudden, his poxy phone, which likelihood went on an expenses claim, the American taxpayers most likely paid for his phone, which I can assure you would be the latest iPhone or whatnot. Or no, in the Democrat Party, it's probably a Huawei, however it's pronounced. Strange name, isn't it? And that is about all we have for you. We will end on that hypocritically, quintessentially democratic note. Thank you for watching. I'm sorry if I've been a bit off today, but I've got a bit of a headache and it is punishingly hot here and humid here in England. Thank you very much for watching. If you haven't yet, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell and share this video between family, friends and social media, because that helps me stay competitive with the big multinational corporations that YouTube is unfortunately choosing to prioritize. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.